Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News and your daily wrestling newscast for Thursday, September 29th, 2022. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with AEW Dynamite on TBS, emanating from the Licoris Center in Philadelphia. In the main event, Chris Jericho made the first defense of his newly won Ring of Honor World Championship, defeating former champion Bandito in 18 minutes and 26 seconds with the Lion Tamer after an intentional poke to the eyes.
Well, not much honor in that, but Jericho's trying to win this damn match.
The high boot by Jericho, he sweeps out the legs, and now...
the high angle.
The Lion Tamer is cinched in. Bandito, he can't even see. He can't see where he is. He's so close to the ropes.
He might not even know. Forget about his breathing, guys. Had no choice.
In a promo after the match, Jericho challenged Bryan Danielson for the October 12th Dynamite being held in Toronto before attacking ROH ring announcer Bobby Cruz, punching him in the stomach, and then delivering a spinning back fist.
I'm going to destroy every Ring of Honor champion, destroy every Ring of Honor commentator, every Ring of Honor referee, and every Ring of Honor ring announcer.
What?
Oh, wait.
Jericho! Just
come on.
Low blow. Bobby Cruz.
Come on!
This is
What the hell, Chris?
disgusting!
Opening last night's program, Bryan Danielson defeated Daddy Magic Matt Menard in 8 minutes and 40 seconds, submitting him with a crossface. That match stemmed from an angle where the Jericho Appreciation Society was celebrating Chris Jericho's ROH title victory. Tensions between Jericho and fellow JAS member Daniel Garcia continued to rise, with Garcia nearly quitting the group before Bryan Danielson came down to the ring to help stir the pot. AEW World Champion Jon Moxley also defeated Juice Robinson on the show after submitting him with a Juji Katame cross-arm breaker. After the match, Hangman Adam Page came down to the ring to engage in a stare-down. Before the two could get physical, MJF interrupted from a luxury box to cut a promo on both men. As he did, Wheeler Yuta, whose challenge MJF rejected earlier in the show, snuck up behind him and the two brawled into the crowd.
You're not fighting each other, man. Okay, what you're doing is you're fighting to lose. Because once you two morons get to Cincinnati, I just might cash my chip in and become the new AEW World Champion. Because I am a generational
Piece of
talent.
Oh no, look behind you. Max, turn around. It's Wheeler.
Wheeler Yuta, a big right hand, and he sends MJF for a ride. And Wheeler Yuta not waiting until next week.
Just a straight up attack in a luxury box.
Oh, is he gonna...
Oh, no. People in Philadelphia, they hate MJF. This is Yuta's hometown.
And look at Wheeler Yuta trying to fight off the security detail.
My God, they're beating the hell out of MJF.
Meanwhile, inside the ring, Hangman Page and Jon Moxley are just locked eyes.
This is mayhem here. Craziness.
New AEW signee Saraya opened up the second hour of the program with an in-ring promo and coined her new catchphrase, "I am the revolution." Earlier in the day, on Wednesday, Fightful reported that the former Page had signed a 3-year deal with the company. Saraya was visibly nervous during the promo, but eventually introduced a group of babyface women led by AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm to come to the ring. Saraya was then interrupted by Dr. Britt Baker, along with her usual backup as well as Penelope Ford. The two jousted back and forth before Serena Deeb arrived for her title match with Storm. Saraya then announced that all of the women who arrived at ringside could stay and called for a lumberjack match before leaving to join the announcers on commentary. The match ended after 10 minutes and 8 seconds of action when Storm pinned Deeb after delivering a piledriver from the second turnbuckle. In the only other match on the program, Ricky Starks easily dispatched of Eli Isom after hitting his Rochambeau finisher. In ratings news, NXT on the USA Network finished with 660,000 viewers on average, according to WrestleNomics. That number is down 4.1% from last week and is the lowest rating the show has done since August 9th. Despite that decline, viewers between the ages of 18 to 49 were actually up 6.7% from last week, notching a .16 rating, which equates to about 209,000 viewers on average. NXT ranked 14th in people 18 to 49 amongst cable originals for the day, according to Showbuzz Daily. When including broadcast primetime, it ranked number 28. With Hurricane Ian bearing down on Florida, the Weather Channel between 9 and 10 p.m. earned the number 1 position for the night on cable. Hurricane coverage may have contributed to the decline in NXT's usually strong over 50 demographic, which was down almost 15% to a .34, or approximately 401,000 viewers. The last 2 weeks of the show were taped on September 14th due to renovations taking place at the Performance Center in Orlando. The show goes back to being live next week. WWE has canceled their October 9th Sunday Stunner House show in Elmira, New York, due to poor ticket sales, according to WrestleTix. It's the 5th Sunday Stunner branded show in the span of 6 weeks to be canceled, and the first one west of the Plain States to be off the board. In the last audit WrestleTix performed of the show, which was due to take place in Elmira's first arena, only 2,117 tickets were sold, leaving 1,306 available with 2 weeks remaining. First State tenant Steve Donner told WETM TV's Andy Maliske that WWE was concerned that ticket sales were not moving up to their expectations in advance of the event. Donner added that the building is working with WWE to reschedule sometime in the spring of 2023. WWE has also canceled Sunday house shows on September 11th in Eugene, Oregon, September 25th in Grand Prairie, Alberta, October 2nd in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and October 16th in Prescott, Arizona. Also, according to WrestleTix, sales aren't looking very promising for an upcoming WWE Monday Night Raw on October 17th in Oklahoma City. Reportedly, only 3,846 tickets have been sold for the scheduled Raw at the Paycom Center out of a possible 4,354 available. While that leaves only 509 tickets available, the number sold thus far is nearly 1,100 less than were sold for the last event in the city, a February 2022 SmackDown, which drew 4,912 fans. In August of 2021, a televised Raw from the building drew 4,818. Nothing is off the table when it comes to scouting prospective talent, so says Shawn Michaels. In an interview with Nick Talbot of MySanAntonio.com and the San Antonio Express News, NXT Vice President of Talent Development Creative Shawn Michaels said that WWE is open to signing wrestlers with experience competing in Japan or who come up through the indies. Michaels is quoted as saying, "We are still reaching out to other people with experience that have wrestled on the independent scene or been out in Japan or in other companies. That is something NXT will continue to do in the future. Nothing is off the table. We simply want to continue to find people that are just as passionate about the WWE product as we are." In August of 2021, Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that the philosophy of looking for prospective talent was firmly in discovering them through its own scouting pipelines, such as their next-in-line names, image, and likeness program. When Michaels was asked about who he believes he's helped develop the most, he pointed to several examples of that formula: Braun Breaker, Tony D'Angelo, the Creed brothers, and Tiffany Stratton. Michaels was also very complimentary of the European wrestlers who have migrated to the Performance Center, believing they'll be a key reason as to why NXT wrestlers will be more diverse. Michaels was doing local press due to tickets going on sale this Friday for the upcoming Royal Rumble, which takes place at the Alamo Dome on January 28th. It's the 4th time the city of San Antonio has hosted a Royal Rumble, and it's the 3rd inside the Alamo Dome, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary in 2023. The Cauliflower Alley Club held the final night of its 2022 reunion in Las Vegas last evening at the Plaza Hotel and Casino. Several awards were presented during the banquet, including the Iron Mike Mazurki Award, Cauliflower Alley's highest honor, and named for the founder of the CAC, which was presented to John Bradshaw Layfield by Texas promoter and booker James Beard who helped discover Layfield in 1992.
I had a dream when I was a kid. The reality far exceeded anything that I ever told my grandfather that I was going to be. I can't thank enough the people that have helped me be where I am today, the people that have been part of this business. The gratitude I have, I cannot even express in words. I can't thank enough James Beard opening the door that gave me access to this wonderful life I'm a part of. Thank you very much.
The Mazurki Award has been presented since 1993. Previous winners include Judo Gene LaBelle, Lou Thez, Jesse Ventura, Killer Kowalski, Bobby Heenan, Terry Funk, Harley Race, Bret Hart, Sergeant Slaughter, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Earlier in the evening, the Lucha Libre Award was presented to Conan by last year's winner Rey Mysterio, and Kevin Sullivan received the Men's Wrestling Award in honor of his nearly 30-year in-ring career.
So I would like to thank Barry Windham. I would like to thank the Four Horsemen. I would like to thank the great Blackjack Mulligan. I'd like to thank Superstar Billy Graham, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Mike Graham. And I also would like to thank the people who are on my side, Mark Lewin and King Curtis. Thank you very much for your work.
In other accolades, Joyce Grable received the Courage Award in recognition of her successful battles with cancer. Canadian independent wrestler Madison Miles received the Rising Star Award, and veteran WWE and WCW official Billy Silverman received the Referee Award. To open the banquet, Las Vegas Mayor Pro Tem Stephen Ross declared September 28, 2022 CAC Day in the city of Las Vegas in recognition of the organization's charitable efforts. This was the second banquet to take place this week during the CAC's 56th annual reunion. The previous night's banquet, entitled Memphis Mania, honored Memphis wrestling greats Jerry Lawler, Teenie Jarrett, Jackie Moore, Tommy Rich, and the Rock and Roll Express. Some sad news to report. Wrestling announcer Dan Masters passed away unexpectedly due to a car accident in El Salvador, according to family members and various media outlets. Masters' resume included working for WWE developmental group Deep South Wrestling between 2002 and 2004, and more recently for the Women of Wrestling promotion. Masters, whose real last name was Henry, was originally from Ellaville, Georgia, but was recently living in Long Beach, California. Outside of wrestling, Masters had worked for Cumulus Broadcasting and Clear Channel through iHeart. He was 39 years old. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast and to remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast and remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.